We're two chicks and we're watching a flick, the best and the worst of Netflix. Don't change the channel cause here's the sitch. It's time for two chicks, one flick.
Hello everybody and welcome back to episode 2 of
Two chicks, one flick.
Okay, so this week on Two Chicks, One Flick, we watched What a Girl Wants featuring Amanda Bynes and who's the other guy?
Colin Firth.
Colin Firth. They're like the icons of the movie. Do you want to explain a little bit about what the movie is?
What a Girl Wants is a classic Cinderella story, as they all were in the early 2000s. It's basically about a girl who grows up not really knowing who her dad is. Her mom was forced to leave. It's like a Princess Diana story, kind of, in a weird way. He was like royalty, but he was kind of like a rock boy, and like found this woman. They fell in love. They sort of got married, and then when he brought her back to the palace, they were like, no. And so they kicked her out without him knowing. She went back to New York, had his baby, wasn't allowed to tell him about it, but somehow she knew Amanda Bynes. And then Amanda Bynes, when she turns 17, is like, I need to meet my father. And then she goes back to England and causes a ruckus for Colin Firth's character. And then in the end, they all live happily ever after. That's
the gist. Craziness ensues in between. So, what did you think of this movie?
I love these movies. Like, this is classic teen rom-com, early 2000s, like how it all began. I probably watched this movie a lot as a kid because it's so familiar to me. I don't know, I just really enjoy it. I have a lot of things to say about it, but I really enjoy the movie. It is so ridiculous at times. And as I was watching it, I was like, oh my God. Like, there's so many just cliche things that happen in it, but you have to love it.
For some reason, starting off, I've never seen this before, so it doesn't have like a, place in my heart or anything. I'll be real, it wasn't my fave. I think I was comparing it constantly to, it felt like a weird in-between of like The Parent Trap and Princess Diaries, and it wasn't as good as either, in my opinion. I think I've never been a fan of Amanda Bynes, I'll be real. I never was like an Amanda Show girl. And so for me, it felt I just didn't love her as this. I think the main thing it comes down to is I wished in the beginning they really dug into her like, I'm weird and like quirky, blah, 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 blah. They really were like, she was in England. And then I was like, oh, she's kind of like quirky. But I kind of didn't even get that until like a little bit in. So I wish they had like, you know how in Princess Diaries, there's like a whole like her with her friends bit? I missed that part kind of.
Yeah, she doesn't have any friends in New York, now that I'm thinking about it.
I've known about her life in New York more.
Yeah, because like I'm thinking, oh, there should have been like a counterpart or something like that balances it, but it's really just her flying by herself on the seat of her pants.
Literally, it's truly like, there you go, bro.
I see what you say. She kind of like wasn't exactly the right fit because she wasn't quirky enough.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like it felt like they were trying to hit this like in between like a Lindsay Lohan chill girl, like edgy, versus like the true Amanda Bynes type. And I wish they had just really gone for the like Amanda Bynes weirdness. I wish there was some more like weird stuff that she did. And it felt like she was trying to be kind of like the cool girl.
She was like a cool rocker chick. Why when she became like the polished princess, it was like, okay.
And I wanted her to be like crazy and then like turn into this like princess.
Yeah, like honestly, like basket case almost.
No, totally. I was prepared for that.
We need to talk about this. I was watching this and it was montage after montage after montage.
That is true.
Like, there was the classic, like, oh my God, I'm going to try on different clothes and, like, throw them off. And then there was the montage to England, and let's do the montage for the dad.
And then the, like, transferring to princess montage.
Then there was the, I'm so sad, I'm going back to New York, but my dad doesn't want me. Like, there's so many.
There were a lot of montages.
It's like it was one slow rock song after the next.
The most iconic quote was, they were like, don't make a scene. And her mom was like, I'm not making a scene. We're making a Broadway musical. Do you remember that?
Yes. Yes.
I was like, I'm using that. Absolutely.
I don't know what that, like, there was no context for that because her mom is like a wedding singer. She's not even like an actress or anything. It was so weird.
You know, they're writing that being like gold, yes.
I have to talk about the boy. Was he even British?
I don't even know. I did not like him. Like, he was not that cute.
No, he wasn't cute. Also, I just think they did that though because it wasn't about that story. It was more the story about the dad and the daughter.
He was like truly the side character.
He was a side character, but I thought it was so funny how when he was singing, that was not his voice.
I know.
It was like a 50-year-old man.
It was funny because he sang at the beginning, like by himself, and I was like, that's kind of bad. And then he sang like when he was singing later, he was like, like popping off. I was like, something.
Yeah, they're on the boat with the boy.
Yes.
He's like, why would you want to fit in when you were born to stand out? He literally said that verbatim, and I was like, okay. And she's like,
you're right.
Debbie Ryan smile. But what I was gonna say is, in terms of things that I wish they could have expanded on, when she first meets the boy, she's like in a hostel or something. Why did they never go back there?
It was literally one time. Yeah.
It goes back to the fact that she had no friends.
Yeah, I really wish she had more friends, so it felt like there was more of a like, I really didn't know anything about her except for the fact that she was like, I know who my dad is. Like, that was it. I think there was just a lot of like, they would like really stress the randomest things, and then there would be like huge things that they were like glossing over. I was like, wait.
Are you okay?
No, I'm fine. Oh my god, I fell into the cat food. That's good. It'll have some good drama. Anyways, something that kind of like bothered me a bit, I guess, was like the whole thing was she was like, I wish you would like come after me, like why I've always felt like you never wanted me. But I'm like, he didn't even know you existed.
I know, like give him a break. But she didn't know. None of them knew that. Only the mom knew that he didn't know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because the mom. No, wait, nobody knew.
No, I'm pretty sure she knew he didn't know about her.
No, the mom doesn't know that he doesn't know about the baby because she was like, she thought that he was like, I don't want you, but that was set up.
We really made this so hard to follow, but basically the dad didn't know that he had a baby, but we're arguing about whether or not the mom and daughter knew that he didn't know, or if they thought he knew. Yes.
So she didn't know that he didn't know. And they didn't make a big enough deal about it when they found out. Like, he was just like, he just came back and was like, I've been waiting 17 years to do this. And you were like, wait, is he going to tell her he didn't know? Like,
yeah, and then they like had a phone call and they were like, hey, like the mom and the dad, she was like, hey girl, like,
no,
here. I was like, wait, what?
Literally, he was like, is it always this hard? And she's like, yeah. Like, not even like, oh my God, I didn't even know. Like, why didn't he say I didn't even know? Like,
we should have written this. It's so much potential.
I just like wonder what was going through their heads. Like, was this a made-for-TV movie, do you think? Because like these movies had to come out in the theater back in the day.
Chick flicks don't come out in theaters anymore, really. Like,
They don't. Like, not this kind.
because nobody would really like
Go and pay money.
That being said, like there was some moments where I was like there. Oh, when she like came into the fashion show and she was like wearing her thing, I was like, queen, yes. Like all that part where she was kind of, and when she came into the ball, was wearing that dress, I was yes. Like the whole part where she was like, I'm doing my own thing, I was like, yes.
I was reading an article about how back in those days they were just trying to find like the next Cinderella story, because that's what people were craving. They were craving like
Romance.
from nothing to something and like romance and all that stuff. So I just found it interesting that, you know, a lot of these teen rom-com movies back then were like Cinderella stories.
That is interesting. This whole like your life is normal and then it gets swept away to something else. That really is like really most of those movies.
And now they're not quite like that.
No, they're much more like normal people falling in love, something like that.
Going through something.
Yeah, or like people that you didn't expect to fall in love. You know what I mean? Like that seems like what a lot of them are.
Yeah.
We got to get down to the ratings. What are you gonna rate it?
I'm gonna give this movie like a 7.
Yeah, I think I'll give it a 5.5.
Oh, that's low.
Yeah, I didn't love it, honestly. I'll give it a 6.
You said you hadn't seen it though before.
I hadn't seen it. It was like, it didn't quite have the nostalgia. I think if it had the nostalgia or if I felt a connection to Amanda Bynes, I would. But I didn't see any Amanda Bynes shit until I was like in 7th grade. So
see, I gave it a 7 because of the nostalgia for me.
yeah, I think if it had the nostalgia, it totally would have been a different story. But as it stands by itself. It was like, it was predictable. It was cute, but it wasn't like.
It was a fake Chinatown that did it for me. Like,
Wow.
it's so clearly a set, and it's funny because when I was little, I was like, oh my God, that's Chinatown. It's like in New York. And like, now that I'm older, I'm like, this is a Hollywood, like this is on the Warner Brothers lot. Like,
I just loved just like, I live in Chinatown. Like that was like a whole plot point. So,
it was a straightforward classic teen rom-com.
you gotta be able to compare it to the OG rom-coms 2000s.
Yes.
Gotta know where we started.
Gotta know where we started to know where we're going.
Exactly.
So, this has been another episode of
Two chicks, one flick.
Thank you so much for watching. And if you have any thoughts on What a Girl Wants, which is on Netflix right now, please let us know. Also, let us know if there's something that we should watch, that we should review.
Comment down below, baby. Subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Bye.
Bye.